Guru here, and today we are covering the level Assault on Osgiliath. It should be a relatively quick one and a fun one. It's not that hard to win, frankly, and it's got a fun setup, as you'll see why. So the setup is so as you can see, we have these goons here, and we have two ballistae, and then there's just a bunch of Gondor knights. So the fun thing is you can just spend the whole level just sniping their leaders when they're in range and just blasting knights, and and it's pretty hard to lose. Also, I saw that there was a new subscriber, so if you're watching this, thank you for subscribing. Okay, so the first couple of turns, don't really need to do that much. Just need to get the guns blazing, as you'll see. So they decide to move forward. So wham, that's the fun of it. Already 10 damage down on that dude because he decided to stick his head out of his shell. So that one missed. I don't know they're inaccurate. That's their actual description. I don't really know like the numbers. I don't know if they're like 50% inaccurate. That'd kind of be a safe guess. It feels like it turns out to be about 50%, but I'm really not sure. But these catapults, actually, they're super great. So yeah, the first few turns is just taking pot shots, moving your guys forward, and them moving their guys forward too. And if you've seen the movie, I believe this is kind of what happens after Denethor says to Faramir, "I hate you. You're not Boromir. I wish you were Boromir. Go fight this obviously doomed battle." And I think in the movie, I don't remember in the book, but in the movie, I think Faramir returns like on his horse, like nearly dead, and Denethor goes crazy and like builds a pyre and tries to burn him, like. But Faramir is still alive, and it ends with Denethor running off the ledge to just a super high fall. Well, I hope I didn't spoil anything. I feel like it's a movie that's kind of hard to spoil, but if I did spoil something, um, I don't know. Please let me know. And the leaders I chose, pretty simple. I chose Gothmog and Wormtongue to be my side heroes for this level. They're both really good leaders, so that's the main thing. I don't really need them to do much melee fighting. So I don't think it's really that significant who you choose this level. Um, what's his name? Gothmog is the most significant because like with his fully leveled intimidate ability, I'd be able to get command points on all my flanks, even if the Witch King here rolled a 0, which he hasn't done yet. But I could just use Gothmog's intimidate ability to get command points so that I could still use the catapult. So that's why I chose him. And Wormtongue's a good leader. Plus, I wanted to get him some experience points. You might have noticed I've recently been phasing in Wormtongue. I actually wasn't using him earlier in the campaign, but I kind of made a late in the game transition and invested in Wormtongue because he's a good leader and he has some tips and tricks. Though for the most part, he mainly is just a consistent good leader. But I figured it'd be worth investing in him. And interestingly enough, he's the only non-main evil hero that is just a normal human. Well, I guess he's the only normal human. I mean, Saruman's a wizard. Mouth of Sauron. I don't actually know what the deal with the Mouth of Sauron is. He might just be a human. But the Witch King is an Nazgul. Used to be human. So, as I was saying, I rolled a 0, so I can't use my catapult this turn, but thanks to Gothmog's ability, now I can use my catapult, which I'm going to use to blast this guy back to the Stone Age. Though, man, he is surviving by a single thread. It would be handy to have a Legolas type, but there is no such thing for evil people. And Lurtz is not a Legolas type. He might be good with a bow, but he's really not the evil version of Legolas, even though I've seen him described as such. Doesn't have the range, and he doesn't have the ability to do that much damage at long range. So, Lurtz is no Legolas. Shagrat in this game is closer to being like Legolas because he has good range, and his rage ability lets him do good damage even at far range. And with Berserker Root, he can, do that good damage to 2 people. So, I mean, Lurtz is closer to being the evil, is much closer to being the evil Legolas than Shagrat is much closer to being the evil Legolas than Lurtz is. Because as I was saying, Shagrat can use rage to do some pretty good damage from afar. So yeah, this level is kind of uneventful. To actually win, you just need to last 15 turns and also kill a hero, or last 10 turns and kill all 3 heroes. So that really just depends on if they move their heroes forward. Because if they don't move their heroes to a certain extent, you just can't really touch them. Like Faramir, he tends to hang back. I just can't do anything to him. So it's really a waiting game, and I'm not sure if I killed that one hero, but it seems I did. Time to start on this other hero. Yeah, this is another example of the AI not being that smart. Like, they really should just leave their heroes to, chill in the back. Because they just can't do that much. Because if the heroes come within range, I mean, they're just gonna get zapped to death. I don't know if zap is really the right term for getting hit with a giant rock from a catapult. I guess zap is more of like a laser gun kind of thing. I don't really know what sound effect a giant rock from a catapult would make. And I'm gonna use Gothmog's ability to get some more command points because I got an onslaught, this yellow star, which is boosting my damage pretty bigly. So yeah. Okay, that fella is still alive, but not for long. And these Gondor Knights, by the way, I don't know, they've maybe only showed up once so far in this campaign, but just an FYI, the Rohan Riders, which is the normal cavalry unit you'll see if you have been following my series, they're not as good as these Gondor Knights. These Gondor Knights are just the best cavalry the good guys get. And it's a bunch of really good knights against a bunch of your, pretty wimpy orcs. But you have a lot of orcs, and plus they can only do so much because they have to transport all their guys a very long distance while getting hit with catapults. And we are going to use Intimidate again because we want to use our catapults. Gothmog really makes a huge difference on this level. He lets you be able to use your catapults every single turn, which lets you take out their leaders sooner, which just gives you a really big advantage for the rest of the battle. So, I am all the way Team Gothmog for this level. Gothmog is the GOAT for this level. And I appreciate everyone who has been following along with the series. it's definitely been a long series, and the exciting conclusion will be the final level, and I don't even know if I'll be able to beat it since I've beaten this game on evil on the hardest difficulty once or so, and it definitely wasn't with the Witch King, who is the worst major evil hero. You know, I don't think that's too controversial. He's definitely the worst major evil hero. He's just a bad leader and doesn't have any ranged abilities. He's a frontline fighter, but on that final level, it's just not enough. So I don't even know if I'll be able to beat it, but that's what this series is ultimately coming to. We're in the third act right now. We're 2/3 through, so thank you to everybody who has been watching and following me. I do hope you might check out the game yourself. If you've been wondering how to play, just let me know. I could mention it, or I might just make a video. It's pretty easy to access, but I guess if you don't really know where to look, you might be confused. So if you have any questions or anything like that, just give me a hoot and a holler. But don't give me a holler and a hoot, because that's just the totally wrong order. But yeah. Yeah, there's only so much to say about this particular level. You just blasting Gondor Knights, and using your orcs, and you just kind of waiting it out, because you need to survive 15 turns. So I'll try to make this go quickly and not take too long. Actually, I think I'll increase the speed, honestly. Oh, whoops. That was not the button I wanted to press. My bad. I think I'll increase the speed. I haven't done that yet. What the? Go away, cheats. I do not cheat. Plus, I don't even know if there are any cheats for this game. There actually is one way you can cheat just using this emulator with the save feature. So say like you did a move and you wanted to see how it goes and then take it back. You could just save, do the move, and reload it. So that's like super useful in Pokemon. I honestly on this app with the Pokemon game, like I have used that cheat to like beat the Final Four, which I guess not very honorable, but whatever. But I guess just an FYI. So technically I could cheat using this game, but I don't think that method of cheating would actually accomplish that much. I guess like it maybe would let me like re-roll certain attacks and try to get better attacks, but I don't think it would make a big difference. So I wasn't paying a ton of attention, and this horse guy got through, and he could one-shot Wormtongue, but he's got another thing coming, because Wormtongue, even though they're all evil, I guess they just, they really believe in each other. They're going to step in to save Wormtongue. So Gothmog, okay, he doesn't have a way to actually boost his damage, but he's going to come in and drop a hit. The Witch King is going to go ham, because he kind of sees Wormtongue as like his own greasy little toddler. So he's going to drop a huge hit. And then Wormtongue himself. So an interesting thing about Wormtongue as a hero is, so I'll just show you the stats. So as you can see, the Witch King, the toughest evil hero, 32 HP, 8 attack, great. Then Wormtongue, 9 HP. He has the least HP of any hero. He does have some tricks to kind of help him survive, like he regenerates. He has a item that lets him take reduced damage. His ability can reduce an enemy's damage. So he's ways to survive, and he is okay, he also, so for his very first attack, he gets +5 damage. Like, kind of like, if you've seen the movie, like him stabbing Saruman in the back after putting up with this crap. So he gets 1 good damage attack, but yeah, it's often like 4 damage, so it's really not special. So Wormtongue is really not a fighter. He carries some items that I don't currently actually have on him. But he carries 2 poisons that he can use to boost his damage further. So I definitely wouldn't say that Wormtongue is any kind of like great. Yeah, he's not a good fighter. He might have the occasional use for finishing off a damaged enemy, because like at total, with on his very first attack with Shelob poison and with the Hand of Saruman, he can have a total of 11 damage on one attack, which is a lot. That's like the same as like the Witch King can get on a maximum attack. Like he could do a lot more damage, but like the Witch King has like, well, actually no, it's not as much as the Witch King because the Witch King has 8 damage. You know, throw in Sheila Poison, that's 10 damage. Use Rage, it's like 13, and that always varies. So I guess what I'm getting is that Wormtongue can pull off like a decently big hit, but it takes a lot of planning and item use, and it's not a consistent thing. But his main utility, I think, is just really good leadership. He's the only hero to have 2 to 3 command points. So every turn, no matter what, you're getting at least 2 command points, which is just really good. So I guess this level is kind of a, welcome to the gang Wormtongue kind of deal, because I don't know if I've really used him on camera before now. He's a bit of a late addition, but I think he's a good addition. I think he brings a lot to the team. Though he really is frail. So just to show how useless Rally can occasionally be, Rally can get you like 8 command points on one flank, but if you only have like one guy on a flank, then, that doesn't really do anything. But at this point, it's really not that significant. So I'm not really like that invested in what's going on, but I do need to pay attention because I could still lose potentially, though. I mean, I think it's pretty well in the bag. So Wormtongue is going to retreat, and the Witch King is going to come in and show them why he is the boss. I mean, he's not the big boss. The big boss is Sauron, but he's going to show them why he is the assistant manager. And don't call him the assistant to the manager, or he will whip you with his giant flail. He is the assistant manager of all Middle-earth, or at least he will be, once Sauron, finishes his conquest. Evil guys in the Lord of the Rings series like Witch King, you never really see them enjoying their power. You just see them living in like kind of uncomfortable conditions in a state of permanent, like basically like undeath, and just like being pretty evil and hurting a lot of people. But you don't really see them like enjoy their power. Like you don't really see them like eating nice things. I mean, I guess Saruman is kind of shown to have some nice stuff, but I don't know. Overall, evil guys in the series, especially like the Witch King, you just don't really see them enjoying their power. So I kind of wonder like, what are they even getting out of the conquest of Middle-earth? I mean, yeah, their devotion to Sauron makes them motivated, but I mean, like, what are they just getting, like, the abstract concept of power? I mean, if you kill all the, elves and humans and stuff, all you're left with is just, like, goblins and orcs. I mean, who wants to be in charge of a bunch of goblins and orcs? Yeah, and they're already in charge of goblins and orcs. So yeah, I don't really understand the motives for assisting in the whole conquest of Middle Earth. But that's just rambling thoughts. So, in 3 more turns, I will have won, and they're really not about to win. So I think I might just like really quickly speed through it. Let me know if using this like faster speed is disorientating or ruins it for you. I'm kind of doing it just to save time because there's not really anything fresh to show at the end of this level, other than Wormshot getting one shot. Wormtongue getting one shot. And if I lose because of my hubris right now, that would be hilarious, but they would need to capture another flag and kill another hero, which... Oh, wait, that's actually possible. Okay, I will take a little bit of a precaution. I don't want my hubris to bite me too much in the rear, but... That would be funny, though. Okay, so as long as this level is survived, you know, the battle will be won. Yep. So as you can see, it's not a difficult level even on Grueling. It's kind of a fun level, you know, with the catapults, but it kind of overstays its welcome. But yeah, so that is Assault on Osgiliath. That's like I think that might be the third level so far with Osgiliath. Osgiliath just keeps showing up. I mean, the first level, I think I was defending it from the forces of good, and then I was retaking it, and now I'm defending it again. So, I guess that we have spent a lot of time in Osgiliath. Thank you for watching. Welcome, new subscriber, and hope you enjoy the channel. Have a good one, and adios.